Every single thing about social media is literally designed to hold us captive. Like, is that not the definition of algorithm? Because I'm pretty sure that it is. It's constantly interpreting everything that you watch. That way it can continue to feed you the same content over and over and over again. You can kind of also be held captive on social media though for 3 different reasons. 1 is because we're being entertained. 2, because we're learning how to do a new skill, or 3, because we're being informed. Now, quite honestly, these are not bad factors at all. Like, sometimes you do just want to get on TikTok, for instance, and you just want to watch a whole bunch of funny videos, because let's be honest, we can all get on TikTok and be on there for quite some time just cracking up at the stuff people do. Just like if I want to learn a new skill, I want to learn how to do my makeup a certain way, so I'm going to go watch a video. That way I can replicate it and do it myself so that I can cut costs and do it myself. So all of these different DIY projects, like I said, entertainment, being informed about worldwide news, those are all great reasons to be on social media. They're not bad factors. However, they can become consuming. And when they become consuming, that is where we have a problem. But to be clear though, I know that we're specifically talking about social media on this particular video, but there are other things that can hold us captive as well, like watching TV, because I don't know how many times I've gotten sucked into watching a show, literally stayed up all night knowing I had to work the next morning, but I just could not turn it off. So there are other things that can definitely hold you captive as well that take away the same amount of mental capacity. Now that we're no longer bound to social media, we're feeling lighter, we're feeling calmer, we're anxiety-free, stress-free, all of the things. We are free from it, and now we can get back to being super productive. Which brings us into today's video. So what's up, you guys? Welcome or welcome back. I'm so glad that you guys came to hang out. As you guys can see from the title of the video, we are getting into some productivity tips for life after that social media captivity. Yes, we are done with it. We want to get back into life in the present moment and actually doing the things that we want to do and achieving the goals that we want to do. As always though, if you guys want to check out any type of makeup content, style content, or any other lifestyle content that I've been doing here recently, make sure that you follow me on my short form platforms, because y'all know here we're getting into the discussions, which is why I'm so glad that I have been prioritizing these videos. But enough with the rambling, let's get into these productivity tips. So these productivity tips are in no specific order, but we are going to start with prioritizing your daily tasks. I don't care if you use an electronic calendar on a tablet or something like that, or if you use a daily written planner. Have something in place that you can write down your tasks for the day. And most importantly, you want to have those high priority tasks done in the morning. I kind of set my schedule based on an 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon. Whatever my highest priority task that I need to do, I am going to get them done within that first 4 hours of my day. Wait, is that 4 hours? 8, 9, 10, 11. So, okay. Brain fart moment, don't judge me. Anyway, I am going to get my high priority tasks done within those first 4 hours. Not saying that I'm going to slack off the rest of the day, but I want to make sure that whatever I need to get done for that specific day, I'm getting it done. I'm not procrastinating. I'm not trying to push it off. Keep in mind, anything that you do on the daily is obviously going to push you towards your goals. But when you prioritize those high priority tasks, those are the tasks that are going to make the most impact towards that personal goal that you have. And you can absolutely make this process fun, okay? Definitely get on Etsy or something like that. I cannot tell you how many digital planners I've bought on there where they have the cute little sticky notes and just all the things. Some of these planners on there come with 200 different little sticky tab things that you can do. Just make it to where you are doing this task every single day. Unfortunately, social media, if you've been on a binge or if you've been just held captive by it entirely, it can give you procrastination. And trust me when I say I have dealt with it. There have been a lot of times where I've ended up needing to reach out to brands like, hey, I'm going to have to take an extra day on this. Something came up, when really and truly nothing came up. I just was too lazy to do it because I spent most of my day on social media. So we want to shake this procrastination off, which is why we want to make sure that we're prioritizing our daily tasks. Have your whole day planned out if you can. And if you need to utilize apps or something for time blocking, definitely use those as well. You just want to make sure that you're utilizing all of the time during the day. If you guys know of any good time blocking apps, please put those below, because I'm looking for one and I'm just not really sure which one I want to use yet. But if you have a suggestion, definitely drop that below. Number 2 on the list is to establish some boundaries. You have to have boundaries in place, or this process is not going to work out for you for the long haul. Even if you set yourself a daily limit of using an hour a day on social media, do you know how much better that would be, that 1 hour, versus spending maybe 5 hours a day on social media? This is something I've done personally. I talked about this in my other video where I began journaling. Through daily journaling, I made sure that I only implemented an hour a day on social media, and I have been sticking to that, so much so that over this past week, if I missed my window of getting on social media, I just didn't even care. I did not feel bad about it. I didn't build up this anxiety about it. I was just like, well, I missed my window today, and that's okay. I actually spent my day doing things that I needed to do, getting tasks done on my list. That is more important.
Editing Toni here. Okay, I realized when I spoke about setting boundaries that I only talked about specifically setting boundaries when it comes to time restraints with social media. But honestly, you guys, there are a lot of areas that you could set boundaries in and things that each of us could work on individually. So for example, maybe you're somebody at nighttime who wants to get off of your phone a little bit earlier. You are done with the random scrolling. You're done with online shopping. You're done with playing video games at nighttime, whatever the case. Make sure that you set a boundary to put that phone away. So maybe you want to put that phone away at 9 o'clock. You have to keep the boundary and not touch that phone until the next day. If it helps, try plugging that phone in a totally different room, but just make sure that you have some kind of alarm clock or something. That way you can still get up on time. Another example is maybe you're somebody who works from home. I struggled with this before. Working from home can be sometimes problematic if you don't know how to keep the boundaries in place. I found myself a lot of times washing loads of clothes, doing dishes, taking showers, doing all of these things while working. And this is a problem because obviously I would not do those things if I was in the office. So making sure that you are keeping the time blocks blocked off specifically for work and not doing those things on the time clock. Now, unless you're in your lunch break or something like that, but not on the actual clock. Lastly, if you're somebody like me, my mind rambles a lot. So instead of actually taking off whenever my mind has an idea, keep a piece of paper, keep a sticky note, something like that you can jot those ideas down. That way you don't find yourself in a position where you've taken 45 minutes taking an idea and running with it, and then you're coming back to realization like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to utilize that time for something else. So I just wanted to make that very clear when it comes to setting boundaries. It's not just about setting time restraints with social media, but it can be for other areas as well.
I realized how much more time I have for actual mindful activities, how much more time I have to go back and start reconnecting with friends and making sure that my relationships that I've built over the years, that I am actually in tune with those and intentionally checking on those people, spending time, which brings us into our next tip, which is cultivating real connections. Social media world and real world are two totally different things. And sometimes we can forget about the relationships and friendships that we do have in real life because we have that priority and that focus on social media. So now that you have that time, you freed your mind, your mind is clear, you're actually paying attention to the amount of time that you have. Now you can start allocating that time to areas that need some help. I isolated myself so much doing my YouTube content, doing all of my content, period, that sometimes I forgot to check in on the relationships that I had built over the years. So you definitely want to make sure that you're getting back to cultivating just really strong, healthy relationships with your friends, with your spouses, your parents, grandparents, whoever. Make sure that you're prioritizing that time. One thing as well about cultivating real world connections is that it allows you to actually put focus on the things that you want to do. Maybe you can join a book club. Maybe you can go, to some more community events that are going on. Actually get outside of the house, away from the phones, and actually get you in your community, because honestly, there are a lot of things that can go on in your community sometimes, but we just don't pay attention to those things because we're so preoccupied with everything else. Get out, enjoy yourself, enjoy some weather. We have summer approaching, and this is just a really good time for you to start networking with people or clubs or events that maybe you've never been to before. Now that you've completely freed yourself, you have a lot of time back into your hands that you need to reallocate. And the best way to do that is to do some continued learning or doing some self-improvement type hobbies. One for me is I've always wanted to learn a second language. Specifically, I've always wanted to learn Spanish. You guys, I've taken Spanish in high school. I took Spanish in my freshman year of college, and I was still learning Spanish a little bit when I started working in banking, one bank in particular. Anyway, I'm about to start rambling. I have always wanted to learn it. I just never found the time to actually sit and do it. It's not that I couldn't find the time. I just was not prioritizing my time the way that I should have in order to incorporate that hobby into my day. So now that I have actually found my time back in my day, and I have like taken it back and say, no, this is my time, I'm going to allocate it the way that I need to keep me moving forward, I can prioritize getting on my Duolingo app every day for 10 to 15 minutes and actually finding the time to learn that new hobby. So this is why it's so important that you're finding things that are actually going to give you some type of self-improvement. A new hobby, maybe reading books. I don't know if maybe you want to get into reading novels. Find a book club that you can join. That way it keeps you on track. I know with book clubs, you have to read a certain amount of pages or something before the next time that you guys meet up. It'll keep you on track for doing that goal that you're trying to do. This is an excellent time, honestly, if you want to take a new course, maybe even if it's just a certificate. If you're a content creator, this is a perfect time for you to maybe find some courses that you can take for editing skills or learning how to do better B-roll. These are just ideas, but honestly, when you get your time back, you realize how many things you could be doing that you weren't doing before. My very last productivity tip for you today is to be selfish with your time. You guys got to realize you've just taken all of your power back. You've taken all of your power back. You've taken back your time. Now you want to be purposeful with your time. Now you want your time to be used on things that you actually want to do. And again, that are going to help you move forward and increase your quality of life. Do not spend time on things that are not serving you purpose. For my girls who like to be on the phone with your homegirls and all of that, I am one of those people. I've had to cut that time back. I cannot spend too much time on the phone because, for one, it keeps me unfocused. It keeps me kind of just spaced out and zoned out, and then I have to take all of this time sitting down to try to get myself back on track. So I'm very selfish with the amount of time that I spend on the phone. And also remember that no is a full answer. Sometimes people are going to ask you to do certain things when you have a window blocked off. Remember, all of the time that you have blocked off is very specific to your goals. So you're going to have to say no sometimes, and people are going to have to be okay with that. Now, obviously, it is your choice if you want to maneuver your schedule around, but just remember that you can say no. You have a right to say no if you do not want to move your schedule around. So those are my productivity tips that have actually really been helping me to stay focused and prioritize now that I have taken back my time from being wasted on frivolous things throughout the day. If you guys want to see a productivity tips video where we're just going over one day at a time, like me giving you guys my personal daily routine or giving you the structure of how to build one for yourself, definitely let me know. Drop in the comment section below because I would love to do a video like that. But as always, I really hope that this helped you today. Just remembering to pull back that time, getting back to you and getting yourself on track so that you can have some self-improvement and actually start reaching the goals that you have for yourself. I will catch you guys hopefully on the next video. Until next time, bye.